This week marks the third anniversary of the Russia-Ukraine war, the deadliest war in Europe since World War II. On February 24, 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine to ostensibly take over its capital, Kiev, and occupy the eastern portion of the country. Since the invasion, hundreds of thousands of Russians and Ukrainians have died, and both countries face devastating economic consequences with global implications. Under the Biden administration's direction, Congress provided Ukraine more than $177 billion in aid, including $30 billion in direct economic assistance from USAID. The United States sent this money without effective oversight, clear strategy, or a plan for repayment. After a grinding 3 years of war, there is no clear path to a decisive Ukrainian victory, and most of that taxpayer money has been unaccounted for. Simply put, President Donald Trump inherited an untenable situation caused by the Biden administration's failed policy of an open-ended checkbook, but no strategy for Ukraine. A new approach to finally end the carnage and destruction is not just necessary, it is urgent, and President Trump is prepared to deliver exactly that. The Trump administration has made it clear that advancing American interests will be the top priority in all national security decisions, something the Biden administration failed to do. This shift aligns with the public sentiment that resoundingly reelected President Trump. Polling from RMG Research reveals a majority of moderates, 56%, think that the $113 billion the United States has already spent helping Ukraine at the time of this polling last year is too much. A similar proportion, 54%, think that the United States should spend more to secure the southern border than to help Ukraine. This increasing skepticism is well-founded. Spending American taxpayer dollars on a war without a clear endgame does not serve our national interest, and any additional aid to Ukraine must include strict oversight and conditions to ensure accountability. We must also address Europe's role, or lack thereof, in this conflict. For more than a decade, several NATO member nations have failed to meet their mandatory defense spending commitments required if NATO needs to execute any of the plans the alliance has collectively approved. That must change. Our European allies must pay their fair share to help out one of their European neighbors. On this third anniversary of the invasion, we must also raise concerns over the troubling leadership of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. While he has been portrayed as a hero in Western media and celebrated in European capitals, at the United Nations, and by the Biden administration, the reality is his government has been plagued by corruption, suppression of political opposition, and reckless demands for endless foreign aid, even American troops in Ukraine. Zelensky's action make one thing clear: Ukraine can no longer be given a blank check by the United States. Aid to Ukraine must come with conditions, oversight, and accountability, something the Biden administration completely neglected, as well as a return on investment represented by the potential natural resources deal the Trump administration is negotiating. President Trump remains committed to ending the Ukraine war and advancing American interests. The administration's America First national security approach can ultimately save lives, taxpayer money, and critical resources needed in different theaters around the globe. Diplomacy, which has been in short supply for the last 3 years, must be given a chance under President Trump's leadership.